Hello, everyone.
Hey, Coach Nick Mason, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing, man? Hello.
All right.
Good. All right. Let's go ahead and I think it's going to be a smaller group today. Let's go ahead and get started. Um, who do we have first?
Believe me.
Yes. So yeah, what's going on, man? So you saw my response, and I guess like what's brewing in your head based off of what I've shared.
Um, Hang on here. Let me see what you wrote. No, I mean, it makes sense. Um, or right, actually, no. I was wondering what you thought about the double X digital. Um, like obviously they nailed it down. I just don't think I can deliver that right now. So that's why I wouldn't even know how to go about that yet.
Sure. So what? So you don't think you can deliver upon the offer that they have, or which part exactly? Like their marketing, like which part specifically are you like,
The offer that they guarantee or the 720 HVAC installs every 30 days. Obviously, I can't get there. I don't know how to even go about that because that's not what I was um like planning for really.
yeah. Um, so what's your offer again? Remind me.
100 leads, 100 leads, turning 100 leads into 20 clients in 30 days.
So how do you know if you can deliver upon that?
It's just a smaller ticket item than a whole HVAC unit.
Yeah. Well, so I'm kind of playing devil's advocate. I'm kind of like asking that question just to kind
Yeah.
of that you don't actually technically know, right? Even though it's like an easier offer per se, like you don't actually have evidence that that's something you can do unless you actually started running ads and playing around.
No, I never. I mean, I created some creatives, but I never got around to building the funnel and never launched them. I was planning on doing it um, concurrently with what I was doing to see maybe if I can go about getting leads and then offering those to local HVAC guys.
What I would say is that um I based off of like every time I do this, whenever I build something, I'm every time I try to go against the grain, and when I say go against the grain is like try to do what I think would work without like seeing what the market is doing, it's always backfired on me. And so whenever I just like copy and paste what the market is doing, it's like it works out. And so like the thing is like you don't know if you can deliver upon the offer that you have. You don't know if you can deliver upon this one. You may or may not. But the point is like how do we just get your calendar book? Like step one is like click, like click and then getting leads and then discovery call and then sales call. So we just need to figure out how to like even get here. Does that make sense? So it's like all I care about. And the truth is, Daniel, like, and I don't know if I ever share this with you, it's 30 clients. 30 is like the magic number where you feel like, okay, I feel pretty good in terms of service delivery. It takes 30 reps. So even once we do this, even once we do this, even once we figure out the sales call, like we're not really focused on getting results until like after you're closing a few deals. Like that's just the nature of the game. So you can do what you're doing. I just don't know if like I don't know if people are going to book a call with you, is what I'm saying. Like I don't know if that offer, like I know that this offer works. I can tell based off the market. I've been doing this long enough that I can tell like these guys are really honed in. This stuff works. So if I were you, I would do something like 15 to 20 HVAC installs in the next 30 days. That's what I would do if I were you.
Okay.
Because that's what's going to guarantee that you're going to get your calendar booked. And that's all we should care about for now. We can worry about the rest later as time progresses. That's what I would do. What are your
I,
thoughts?
I see. I guess I mean it goes to like what you've been saying as far as like just get through the next step or like what like you said getting a book call is the most important. But my mind goes to like, okay, well, I get a book, great. How do I deliver? And so like, yeah, that's the rub for me is like where do I go from there?
You figure
And
it out.
yeah,
You figure it out. That's it. We
yeah,
figure it
okay,
out. There's nothing else to it. We figure it out. We fight tooth and nail till we figure it out.
okay,
That's what I would do. That's what I would recommend.
got it.
If you want to, here's the thing. If you, so don't, so I'm just telling you what I would do. Like I said, if you want to run your ad, your offer, like we can do that and just like see what happens if you want. But it's like your, if you want to do that, we can certainly do that. And you want to spend 100, 200 bucks, 300 bucks doing that, we can totally do that. And then if that is what helps you sleep at night and makes things peaceful for you, like, dude, I'm here to support you for that. I just want to be very upfront, let you know, like, if it doesn't work, don't be surprised if we pivot to this down the road, or you can just
Yeah,
go, it's up to you. Balls in your
got
court in terms of how you play it. Either way, we're slowly going to figure out how to close the deal. And then once the deal is closed, that's when the rubber meets the road. Like you said, we're going to have to figure out service delivery no matter what. And it's going to be whether you do this offer, whether you do the other offer, it's still going to be a challenge to figure that out together.
okay. I've actually gotten in their funnel. It's just not something I could actually, purchase. Um,
What was that
so
experience? What was that experience like going through their funnel? Anything that kind of like stands out or any thoughts?
no, I
That,
mean, just like I forget, I screen recorded it. So yeah, it's just I went as far as all that. I did all that. Scheduled a date, and I don't think I ever answered when they called, or maybe it's still in the future. But I mean, regardless, like, that's as far as I was gonna go, is put my name and info in there.
okay. Uh, need help. Da, 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 congratulations. Tim want to join our Facebook group. You didn't, I would assume you didn't do this.
No.
This is important for sure. Like this is definitely part of their strategy. Wow, they got a lot of people. So this might be the guy that Hormozy was talking about. Hormozy was talking about how there's a guy who was doing 7 figures and then he opened up his own agency to help other HVAC business owners. This is a big ass number. This might be them. Um, I'm willing to bet seven less 3 years. Yeah. So dude, like what does that say to you, Rodarte?
Then it works.
Yeah. So their offer for sure works. So if they're running that offer, they've been in the game for 3+ years for sure. So I'm willing to bet they get people in here, probably do a little bit of nurturing, all that stuff. I would for sure, like, I don't know if you have a burner phone number or burner email, but I would definitely do that as well. These guys are so busy, they haven't even updated their copyright. um, so I would definitely like, yeah, go through a funnel, have a conversation, kind of position yourself as an HVAC business owner, kind of see what they say and do. There's a lot to learn here.
Okay.
Mhm.
I just didn't. I did the research, but I didn't know like what questions they ask and what answers I need to give. So that's why I was just like, eh.
Sometimes sometimes you go through it a few different times to get better and better answers to go further and further into the funnel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other thoughts?
Um. No, that's it.
So what's the move now for you?
I think I'm gonna just because the video's already created. I can't produce another video that quickly. Just with schedule and things right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and launch what I got now, and then see where that goes, and then pivot if I have to.
Oh, that's fair. And in the event that you do want to pivot to this fast, you can just like do a voiceover where you make the offer and not show your face, and boom, you have the same video, same ad. You can
That's the
always just
answer.
we just do that as well. So,
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
but cool, man. If that's what you want to run with, like, dude, just like keep me and Mason up to date with your numbers daily. Just kind of take it from there. Anything else that's bringing your head, Daniel, that you want to go over?
No, it's just like, man, every time I think like I'm like ready to launch, like nope, not yet.
What do you mean?
Nope. Just I don't know. Like fine tuning things or like changing things, or like I was ready to do it now, and then now it's like, oh, maybe we should do this, and I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the more information you get, oftentimes that's gonna like uh or is it like ready, fire, aim? Just go and then you're gonna kind of move
Yeah.
things. So like this is what I was looking for. I'll be honest, like Daniel, like when I was telling you like do research and make sure you confirm the offer, like this is what I was talking about. This right here.
Well, I've seen other offers. Like it wasn't. This is just
Like
like
you've seen other HVAC business owners running different offers. Is that what you're saying?
I've seen.
Agency owners.
Let me make sure, but I've seen other HVAC agencies or um, yeah, other agencies.
Cool. Share some of those. I'd love to like have a look.
Well, I should say ads. I don't know if maybe I was looking at their ads. Um, maybe not. Maybe I was mistaken, but um, maybe it was just like a different ad I saw, which it could have been for their agency
Like an ad for HVAC services or an ad to get HVAC business owners booked in.
to get HVAC businesses owners.
Okay. If you come across something, please share that with me.
Okay.
I can kind of like tell you like my thoughts. Like based off what I'm seeing with these guys, like maybe another agency is running ads that's working, but I know for sure this is working. For sure this is working. But
That's
yeah,
the
if
other
you
thing is like, okay, so obviously that's just one agency, but now it's like, okay, is that too late? That's another thing I think is like, okay, well, it's like my initial thought of seeing them was like, oh, it's too late, I guess.
mm, no, for sure not, because MJ, Aman, Aaron, and probably like two other people are running the exact same ad, exact same funnel. They're all getting book calls and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. There are people until this day that like I'm surprised. Like Camilo, he told me the other when he joined, he was like, yeah, dude, I've never seen your ads. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I've been running ads for like 7 years. He's never seen them. So sometimes, the algorithm just will show, maybe the algorithm will find a business owner that has not seen their ads or hasn't resonated, and they'll see you and be like, yeah, this Daniel guy, like I like his vibe. I like everything. Let me go and opt into his stuff. There are so many fish in the sea, Daniel, so many.
What do you think about? I know you said I should launch nationally. Like when it comes to finding the avatar, my initial thoughts are just like obviously a male, and as far as age, as young as 35. Um, I just don't think anybody in their 20s would have their own business, or like it would be an expensive lead.
Mhm.
So, do you have any thoughts on that?
Are you are you coming to this question from a place of like, how do you set up your ad set targeting? Is that why you ask?
Yeah, like
Um,
when I get to that point.
I mean, I honestly, these days I just like to kind of leave things open and broad and let Facebook kind of figure it out. And it's been doing a good job.
Okay,
So I don't really even mess around with that too much.
okay, because
And
your
what's
the loom videos, like it's like definitely telling you how to like narrow down.
Yeah.
So you don't do that. You just leave it as like Facebook prompts.
What I do for my own business is I just do 22 plus. I don't even like I know I could probably even like do like remove females and the numbers might be better, but like I don't even mess around with that. Just kind of let Facebook figure it out. I think the difference would be minuscule. I don't think it would be substantial. Like where, you know what I mean? Like let's say your lead is $5, maybe it's $4.55. It's not that big of a difference, I don't think, in the grand scheme of things. I think I think down the road it makes more sense. Like I don't think it makes much sense to like have a bunch of things right now to like pinpoint right now. I think just leaving things very broad and open, letting the algorithm figure things out. And then as time progresses, you have more data, then you realize, okay, these are the kinds of people having a conversation with. Maybe then you switch up your targeting and stuff. Does that make sense? Like leave it
Yeah.
open now, and then when you learn, like right when once you learn for sure, then tighten things up. Like I've noticed things, for example, like different people that sell, coaching programs to videographers. The people that seem to hop into my world are people that are like mid 20s, mid 30s, sometimes 40s. But like I'm not typically getting 50, 60, 70-year olds, right? But like I do know coaching programs that it's everybody I see, all the students are like 40, 50, 60 years old. But it's because the course creator, the coach is that age. So my theory is that your face, the way you look, the way you kind of carry yourself, you're going to attract a certain type of person. And then from there, then we can narrow things up if you would like, I think. I think that's what I would do if I were you.
Okay. And then can you remind me how you go about figuring out how much to charge um like an owner for your services? Like I think there was like some kind of formula that I forgot.
Yeah. So this isn't like super important, right? For now, Daniel, like the most important thing is like let's just close some deals. You know what I mean? But overall, what I like to look at is 25% of CPA and the 25% CPA of LTV. And the thing is, there's no way you're gonna have this number. And so I'll explain this here in a second. And then 2x cash collected. So what I mean by that is, let's say you spend 5K on ads. I'd like to see you collect at least $10,000 that month. And so that $10,000, like 20% can be from like old clients, and then 80% could be like from new clients. It doesn't matter. As long as you're doubling your cash collected every month, you're good. And then 25% of LTV, what I mean by that is, let's say your average client is worth, I don't know, 6K. What is that's two, three, that's 1.5K. This means that every client that you get, you can afford to spend 1.5K. The thing is, you don't know what your LTV is yet, right? Because you have to get clients, you have to keep them around for 6 months, a year. Who knows what your LTV can be?
Okay.
So like I know my LTV bare minimum is like $700 average client. So 700 divided by 4, I don't know what that number is, but like my ad costs, I'm always trying to keep it below that number. So what is that? Like three, I don't know. But like for me, I'm like, if I can get somebody in through the door for $150 or less, I'm happy because I know that the average client is worth that and I can scale my business. So this isn't like right now, like this is stuff that is going to be more important, I would say month 2, 3, 4. Once you really get the ball rolling and you're consistently getting sales calls, you're consistently closing some deals, then I think that these numbers make a whole lot of sense. For now, it's just like, okay, let's get somebody in through the door. Let's see if we can charge $1,000 a month. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's try 1.5K now. Maybe let's try 2K. For you, you're just trying to play that game and see the maximum you can charge for now. That's where my mind would be if I were you.
Okay.
Like your job is just one bottleneck at a time. Let's get some clicks. Let's get some leads. Let's get some discovery calls. Let's get some sales calls. Okay, let's close some deals. Okay, we're closing deals. Okay, now let's figure out how to increase a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. That's the game you should be playing. And you should be playing that game for like 10 clients at least before we look
Okay.
into. Does that help? Or
Yeah.
cool. Other questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, things that are brewing in your head?
No, man, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you doing overall? How are you feeling? I know, like with the kid and everything, things slowed down maybe a little bit. How are things doing overall?
Yeah, it's a lot more than I thought. Just the wife needs a little more help than I thought, and this baby, man, she's just her witching hour is like from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then yeah, it's like it's hard to get her put her back down. So like my shift 8 to midnight, and then wifey takes over, but I try to get up at 5, and it's just I'm dragging.
No, you're. I don't say this from a good or a bad place. I'm just making an observation. Your energy is a little bit different the last, like, I would say last 2, 3 weeks compared to before. Just something I picked up on.
Yeah, man, I know. I don't know, just feel like I'm hitting a wall.
You feel like you're hitting a wall in terms of what?
Um, Production, uh, like I thought it'd be further. I thought it'd be. I know I've said this before, and you kind of like just squashed it basically. But I know I've been. I feel like I could be a lot further, and I'm not. And it's like every time I make a step forward or make some progress, it's like back, like I don't know, like one step forward, two steps back. It feels like.
Hmm.
Um, but
Remember, I think I told you in that Loom video, it's like I haven't seen any fatigue. Remember that?
yeah,
It's 3 weeks. It kind of seemed like you're like slowing down a little bit, like you're a little bit fatigued. I don't know if that's like
yeah.
I don't know if that's like a personal life thing because of the kiddo or something else. And I'm asking this because I want to see if there's a way that I can help you with this.
I guess yeah. I'm just like um, I'm looking at like down the road, and I think I have until my goal was to make it through this program and be a success, right? And like get the what was the like the mark to make was like get 2 clients and then see progress by, for me, I think it's like the first week of September. And it's like, okay, now it's like I feel like my back's against the wall. Um, yeah, and it's just like slow down as far as um energy for sure. And yeah, like I think I just lost my, I feel like I lost my path of like what to do.
Hmm. This part, Daniel, it's all challenging, man. It's just challenging in different ways. Uh, Without getting too much off topic, I remember when I was in high school, I used to wrestle, and I used to always. I remember first first sport I ever played was football, and I was like, damn, this is so hard. Football practice. I was like, man, people just if you can't like people don't know what it's like. And then I wrestled, and I was like, damn, football players are pussies. Like wrestling is so much harder. And then I ran track. I'm like, fuck, those guys are all pussies. And then I would rotate, and all three of the sports are hard in their own way.
Yeah,
All of them are different, like different kinds of hard. And so I just bring that up because like that's this game. It's all hard in different ways. And so there's the 6 figure and 6 week funnel. There's getting your discovery calls. There's the sales call. There's service. So there's just it's different type of hard. Um, but this type of hard, the one that you're in right now, the challenging part about what you're doing right now is like there's not a cookie cutter formula. I remember telling you that like a few months ago. I was like, dude, this is the part where you got to really think critically and everything like that. I can only help you so much. Um, but I would say, Daniel, like the hard part is just getting the calls booked, dude. Just push through this. Like I'll look at Daniel Riviera right now. Like he pushed and grinded for like 3 months, and now, I mean, how do you feel like now, Riviera? Like, do you feel like a weight's been like lifted off of your shoulder a little bit, Riviera, while we figure the next thing out?
Oh yeah. I mean, just the unknown, and then it's the anticipation of all the work you've done, the culmination of that up until launch. You just don't know, right? You just don't know. But I think it's one of those things like Quashik's just says trust the process and just go through it. So when you're at that level, then you can make new decisions. I think that was kind of the hardest part for me is just not knowing what's going to be over the fence or the wall per se. But a lot more alleviating knowing that there's still challenges ahead, but now I'm working on new challenges versus the old ones of the past. So I hope that makes sense.
yeah, it does. And I think that's kind of like how I feel. Is like I'm just like I'm like picturing like every step, and that's what I'm worried about, rather than just like this step. Like you said, like just launch ads and get calls. Like, but I'm looking at getting calls, booking clients, getting results. I can't do my brain right now. Like I'm small minded, I guess I'll say, where I can't do seven AC installations in 30 days, and you're telling me to say 15. It's like it's like I don't even know where to begin with that.
I think what you just said hit it bang on, which is like you're thinking multiple steps ahead, and that sounds like that's what's crushing you. Um, it's just one thing at a time, Daniel. One thing, man. One thing. And what I'm saying here, and I'm trying to I'm trying to come from a place where I'm like telling you the right thing and not sounding like a sleazeball here or a slime bag here or whatever the word is. But like, and you know this, which is like the purpose of booking the call is not to do the thing that you're actually promising. It's just to book a call. And then your discovery call and your sales call is how you're going to maneuver things around. So let's say on your discovery call, I don't know what's going to be. We're not there yet. Even me, as I'm talking, I'm literally telling you, like, dude, I don't know what that looks like. And you're talking about surgery. I'm like telling you, I don't even know what the discovery call looks like yet. And so, but what I do know is that you can pivot things. So you can say on your sales call, okay, so you know the offer that we spoke about 5 to 15, it really depends on your ad budget. What would you like your ad budget to be? So now you're putting it on them and they're going to tell you like, okay, based off of that, I think what we can do is we can probably aim for around this many installs. We'll see what happens, but this is approximately what we see. Now they tell you, now you're good. Now you're in the clear. So I've just squashed that for you completely.
Yeah.
And so what I'm telling you is like, I wasn't going to have that conversation with you until you were ready for it. Like this is very easy for me to squash because I've done this a million times. You don't need to focus on those things. Like I got you. I'll take care of that for you. You just need to focus on the task at hand, which is like, okay, what does the headline need to be? What does the offer need to be? Okay, let's run it. All right, Dan, do you got the calendar? Are you getting clicks? Are you getting leads? Yeah? No? Okay, well, let's figure things out. So it's just like focus on just one thing at a time, one thing at a time, one thing at a time. There's a solution. I have a solution in place for you for all these other additional steps. So don't try not to get try not to do that. Try not to think too much. I know it's hard not to do that, but it'll crush you if you try to do that.
Okay. So like you just kind of brought something up or triggered a thought. When I do launch, I'm working the funnel now. Like I said, I'm working on just before this call. I'm going to do two things. One's going to be a Facebook lead gen form. So obviously that's just, I get a text saying someone opted in, and that's it. But when it comes to the funnel, am I scheduled, should I schedule, like have a calendar where like they tell me when they want to make a call, or is it the same thing essentially where it's just they just opt in and then some kind of like questionnaire, and then from there I call them and schedule?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and share my screen. So you can confirm with like Dan Riviera what he's doing, because he's doing lead form ads. But I'm pretty sure when it comes to funnel, everybody is like an ad, and then it's the calendar page, and then it's the thank you page. And this is actually like for the discovery call. And so after the thank you page, people get like a text. And from there, then they go text to the discovery call to a sales call. So this right here, what they're booking is the discovery call. And then you're just shooting them a text just to, hey, just saw you come in and da-da-da, tell me a little bit about you, blah, blah, blah. Again, Aman's going to be a good person. MJ will be a good person for you to ask to confirm exactly what's being said here. I don't even know right now. And it's not important right now. But the point is like, it's just a discovery call. And then from the discovery call to a sales call. Does that make sense? Or am I causing more confusion? Daniel, I think you might be frozen.
Yeah, sorry, my internet froze up there.
It's okay. Were you able to hear what I said or no?
I saw you placed like the ad, the calendar page, the thank you page, and then yeah.
Yeah. So this is right, add calendar, thank you. And then from there, what you're doing is you're shooting them a text to just like, warm them up and make sure that they show up to the discovery call. And then from the discovery call, you're pushing that to a sales call.
And so the calendar for the discovery call, that's not a Zoom, that's just a phone call, right? That's not a Zoom call.
This is literally this right here.
Right, but it's like you're just on the phone, like not Zoom. The sales call is Zoom.
Yes.
Okay.
And so this is one type of funnel. And then the other type of funnel, the one that Riviera is running, it's an ad to lead form. And then Riviera, I don't want to.
Similar to what you put earlier, it's add lead form to, and then there's at the end of the lead form, there's like a link to the calendar booking page for like a call, and then a thank you page, and basically everything after that is the same.
And then you text them.
Yeah, there's like a text, and then I'll try to call them. Sometimes what happens is some of them will just fill out the lead form and then they just become a lead, and then some will become a lead, basically through the lead form and also book a call with me, and it'll like block out a certain time in my calendar for that call.
So the ones that just opt in and they don't actually go all the way through, like, have you had a conversation with a few of those guys and been able?
Um, yeah, they tend to be more like office managers, at least for my niche. They'll be like office managers or tend to be, some real dentists too. But yeah, sometimes they'll pick up and then I'll just start a discovery basically right then and there if they have time. Um, so that's usually how I run it.
Thanks. Does that make sense, Daniel?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll try both of them, kind of see what happens. Make sure you have two different Excel sheets for each of these, so we keep the data separate.
Okay.
And then we're just going to see whichever one's going to get you the HVAC business owners the fastest. We're just going to probably roll with that and kill the other one. I think it's going to be this one for you. I think this is the one that's going to work for you.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because of the other agency that's going into a funnel.
So does that mean, because my original thoughts looking at theirs was the photo ads go to a lead form.
That's a good point, actually. You're right. They do have lead form ads as well, don't they? These ones right
Yeah,
here. So it's interesting. They're doing both. So it's interesting because that's pretty much what we're doing, right? We're gonna do the same thing. Um,
I think if you scroll down, there's those are I think lead forms. Yeah.
yeah. So maybe they both work, you know?
Okay. And then just copy their copy.
I mean, copy it, but like make it like tweak it up a little bit to the point
Yeah.
where like, tweak up a little bit. Yep,
All right. Sound good. Feel a little more motivated and
good. What part of this helped get you a little bit motivated? Which part?
just like focusing on this on the task at hand.
Yeah.
And it's simple, but I just I don't know. I just forget and then like think about everything down the road. Then it becomes overwhelming
Why do you think you focus on like all that other stuff?
because I need that's where I need to go. That's the destination. Like that's the whole point of this is to have this result. So I'm going through all of these things in my head of how I need to get that result. And then as I'm going through them, like there's like this mental um like brain dump of just like all this stuff and it just and it's just like jumbled in my head and I kind of like lose track or like lose focus of hey dummy just do this ad right now
Yeah.
let's launch this ad.
Yeah. Just launch that, man. It sounds silly, but it's like I'm terrified of heights. Just don't fucking look down. Just walk. That's
Yeah.
it. Anything else you want to go over, Daniel?
I think that's it. Thank you.
Welcome. Dude, you got time. We got a lot of time. I'm not saying slow down. I'm just saying we got time to figure this out. Plenty of time till September. Just let's get this thing launched, man. Let's do it this week. And
Yeah.
by the end of this week, if I'm you, maybe make it a goal by the end of this week, we're getting some clicks, we're getting some leads, we're getting something, get some traction. And then maybe so this week we do that. By next week, we try to hone things in. Maybe those are the two things to focus on. Just like tell yourself that this week we get launched, try to get some get some leads. Next week, we're going to hone in the creative, hone things in better. And then by the third week, consistently having book calls.
Okay.
Maybe that's tell yourself, and maybe that'll help you stay grounded.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Sounds good.
Well, anything else, Rata, you let us know, okay?
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll hop off and I'll see you guys next week.
Okay. Mr. Riviera. So yeah, I mean, like what so you're saying you're getting like Are your numbers up to date or are they not up to date right now?
They're up to date. I just updated them.
Okay, sweet. Perfect. Thank you. Um, so which one should I be looking at, by the way? I know we have like,
The first one, yeah, that one. That's the only one running.
okay. So we have 13 opt-ins. Um, so we have two book discovery calls.
Yeah, so like from those 13 opt-ins, like two actually like clicked on the landing page link at the end of the Facebook lead form, and then they also booked a call with me.
Okay. I guess like how many people have you had like a call with?
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess how many of these 13 people, like how many have you had like a call? Because you're saying some of these people are like managers and stuff.
Hmm. Um, I usually just find out through the like what I'll do is I'll sometimes they don't answer, so I've been dealing with a little bit of that. But the way I know like their office managers is like I'll look up the name and then the name of the dentistry, and then in their about section, like they kind of list every staff member, and then I'll find the name that matched on the lead is the name of their office manager, not the dentist.
I
That
see.
makes sense.
So how many of
So that's
those?
how I've been, and then sometimes they don't answer, or like sometimes they've been leaving office numbers instead because it is the office manager. They're not like leaving the doctor's personal number. So just been dealing with a little bit of that.
How
So
many out of these 13 people, how many are office managers so far, approximately?
I think like five, 4 or 5, and then I think a decent amount of fakes too, like 4 or 5, maybe 4, and then the rest like real dentists.
Okay.
So it's like a third of each. A third, a third being office managers, a third being like fakes, and then a third being real. Um, but yeah, just been having issues with just getting them to answer, honestly. I think because last time I was going on so many calls because they were just booking in the calendar. So it was like a little easier. Like all of them were kind of like, hey, I'm booking a time slot with you. So I think with this one, they're just kind of like leads. They're kind of just leaving in their basic info. So I don't know if that makes it kind of less less percentage of them are just as committed to the call or being called upon, but that's the only thing I've noticed. Like it's a little bit of that. So that's why I kind of just asked the questions like, should I even tweak or touch the ad? I mean, it's kind of performing, could be doing, I've seen it do better, but then also I've seen it do worse. So I just play around with that in my head.
So 4 to 5, okay. Let's just kind of talk about each of them.
Mhm.
So the 4 to 5 that have been office managers, how many of those have you had a conversation with?
Two, I think
Okay,
two.
how do those conversations go?
Um, One of them like was full stop kind of like weird. Like he would just be like, hello. And I'm like, hey, is this Rigoberto? This is Daniel with Take 10. He's like, yes. I'm like, he was just very weird. And then I'm like, he's like, and then when I kind of go into my spiel of like, my thing, and he's just like, he kind of just threw out like, what do you do? And then I kind of did that pivot, it's like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll give you a brief overview. And then just like a quick, one sentence. Sometimes I have a tendency to ramble and then just answer all his questions. But this time I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna, give him like a kind of a brief little overview and then just tell him, but to get a better idea of like what we can even do for you, I just want to check in and kind of see what guys service are you guys doing? Like, tell me a little bit about the dentistry at hand. And he was just like, or pediatric. Um, yeah, we just want to work with kids. Is that all you do? We're sick of talking to agencies that work with adults. And I'm like, I don't know. It's very hard for me to kind of keep energy when people are like that. But I just like, oh, like, you know, we've worked with, basically dentistries across the board where they're working with kids and they're working with adults, right? Like family dentistries. Is that what you mean? No, more kids. So I don't know. Energy was there, and then he ended up just clicking, which I kind of get a sense that there's some point he's probably gonna click. I don't know if he's heard it before or he, because I asked him like, oh, do you guys like what kind of services are you guys like actively wanting to promote? Like, do you know off the top of your head like what the dentist feels like? Is this something that you felt was right for your dentist? Clicking on the ad and all that. Like, what was your thoughts clicking on the ad? And then he was just like, oh, just he just asked me to look for some people. So I don't know. I don't know how committed some of these office managers are. It just seems like some of them, I don't know if they're being told, like delegated the task of, hey, search for, keep opting into ads, or are some actively like, I love my dentist. Oh, he's like, some like actively like really believe in the business too. So it's like, I don't know from an employee standpoint, are they just doing their job or are they actively like, and I feel that in the energy. The other office one was just really quick. She got the person to the phone. I think she got to the dentist to the phone, but then he said he was a patient. But I did hear his voice for a bit, so I was thinking of just um I try to contact again today, but there was I think it was like beeping, so I don't know if they're on lunch. So just like a little bit of that, so
Well, the
I
reason
haven't been like on too many calls with these managers too much.
so ultimately what I was trying to get at is like I just wanted to kind of see, hey, how are these conversations going? Because, you know, there's no point speaking to somebody that's not going to make that buying decision. And so I think just moving forward, that first guy, I mean, he sounded like whatever.
Yeah.
I could replay that conversation with you if I could do that again. Again, just sell people what they want, give people what they need. Like as whatever, simple as it sounds, like that's the phase you're at right now. You're, in my opinion, you're not at a phase where you can tell people, I do this, I do that. You got to like really
Hmm.
sell them. That's where you're at. And let's just rack up the amount of clients you have. So if somebody says
Yeah.
they want kids, you say you do kids.
For sure, for sure,
Let's do that moving forward.
for sure.
Because what I would like to see you do is I would like to see you push it to the dentist. Say, hey, I'd love to have a conversation, but we only speak with the business owner, the one that's making the actual decision.
Hmm.
It's just our business policy. Is there a time where you can is there a time where I can speak with the dentist? And yes, we do specialize in working with children.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure how you found you can literally leave it there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I would if I were you. And then for
Yeah.
the second guy as well, just get the dentist on
Hmm.
and push for a call with them. That's what I would
Yeah.
do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. To get the call. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So don't spend too long with these guys. You don't want to be a dick to them, but like tell them, hey, look,
Yeah.
that's what I would do there. And so
Hmm.
if you're saying you got four people, well, then maybe one out of those four we can push over to dentist.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm trying to get their names memorized too. That way, in case I ever call again and I can actually get to the dentist, I'll be like, oh yeah, how I heard about you was through your front desk, Jessica. She was really nice. And then kind of go from there, just so they know, like, that like I've been trying to get a hold of them.
You
Because
got to
sometimes they'll be like, "Oh shoot, oh sorry man, I've just been busy this week," and
you
so
got to position it in a way where you don't need to follow up with them. You don't want to follow up.
you don't want to, because that looks like I need them, huh?
No, not even that you need them. It's just like it's not scalable. Like you need to handle your script and you need to handle the conversation. You need to direct it where they are booking time with you. So you say,
Yeah.
hey, look, I appreciate I'm not even saying for you to say this. I'm just giving the energy. It's like, hey, John, I
Yeah.
really appreciate you looking at this and carving out some time. At the end of the day, though, we speak to we can only speak to the business owners. And so is there a good time that works for you and I? I'm sorry, is there a good time that you can get me scheduled in with your dentist? Can I give you my calendar? Can you get something scheduled? Great.
Mm.
Is there anything I can do? So you want to like basically put the ball in their court where they must adhere and come to, the scheduled time with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they're interested, they will. And if they're not interested, they won't. Like yeah, I mean,
Should I invite them to the call too? You think,
uh,
like, or should that not be a priority?
that's not a priority, I don't think. Yeah. I mean, what you can do is you can kind of like learn their responsibility in terms of like, hey, so just out of curiosity, like, are you in charge of speaking with the agency owner? Like, actually, I wouldn't even know that I say. I just like try to figure out like, why are you calling? Why did you opt in? Like
Yeah.
I said, is it like
Yeah.
your
So
dad?
why'd you click on the ad? What got you to click on the ad?
Not even like what got you to click on the ad. What is their relationship with the dentist and that they are clicking on the ad? Is it because, like you
Yeah.
said, the dentist is looking to increase revenue and they gave this task to a manager and now the manager has to do the stuff? Or is the manager just doing on their own and the dentist even asked? Like if a manager is out there trying to book a call and the dentist hasn't even said anything to them, I would not like waste my time speaking to that person because you know what I mean? Like to that sense,
Right.
dentist didn't fucking ask, why are you doing it? And so by the
Yeah.
time I actually speak to a dentist who actually cuts the check, they're not gonna be like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
For sure. For sure. Yeah. There's probably a quality spectrum of lead based off just how the officer manager is going about it for sure.
Yeah, I just wouldn't spend too long there. So I would
Yeah.
say you can keep speaking to them. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't necessarily think to add
Hmm.
anything like that.
Hmm.
Like I don't know that switching up the targeting or switching up the create like we'll or anything is gonna get us more dentists and not practice like managers. I don't think there's something necessarily that we can do there. It might be just the
Hmm.
culture there.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed in the last three, usually I have like three ads in one ad set, and usually it's always just one ad that's like doing better than them all. But this time around, it's like they're all equally kind of doing good. I think one's at like 6 leads, one's at like 5 leads, and one's at like 2 leads. And their unique click-through rate's all pretty high, like 2% or something. But so it makes it a little harder for me to be like, what do I switch off, or sometimes I don't know if this is something to do, but sometimes I'll switch off the lowest one and I won't duplicate the ad set. I'll just add a new ad within that already pre-existing ad set, if that makes sense. Like I'll switch off an ad and then add a new one. Um it it showed results sometimes and then sometimes it doesn't, but I don't know if that's something that you'd consider, like the lowest result one, like switching it out with something.
I honestly I feel like when it comes to ads, man, like there's not much that can be done. Or like it's not that there's always something that can be done, but like
Mm,
I don't know that it's gonna focusing on your sales abilities is what's gonna drive things for you right now. Not tinkering around with
sure.
ads. Your numbers are fine. Your numbers are very good.
Okay, cool.
There's
Cool.
nothing that, yeah. Like I'm
Yeah,
looking, it's all about what you say on discovery call, your sales call, other stuff like that.
yeah.
That's what
And I've
matters.
got like most of the script down. It's more so just tweaking it, and kind of adding my own flair. There's certain points where in the conversation where, so yeah, these last few calls, I've had this script that I've kind of like created like this rough draft, and then I kind of go through it, and then I'll like after the call, I'll immediately, since everything's fresh in my head of how exactly like each kind of thing went, I'll make like necessary tweaks. Because what I found is trying to tweak it later when I'm not like directly like, I just find like right after the call, it's like fresh in my head and all like of what the emotions, this, that. So I'll better tweak it. But um yeah, let me know if I should send the rough draft first or do you want me to finish it out like fully? I can do that too. I'm pretty close to it. So if you'd like me to just wait till I like kind of polish it a little bit, or if you want to just see the rough draft. It's really a play on the videos from the CMCC, kind of the sales mastery. It's really a play on that, and then just plugging in some like really pertinent stuff to dentist and um, a little more personalized for dentist. But the framework is there. I probably do have to change some wording just because it doesn't sound like me. So it just like when I say it, I feel scripted, and then if I try to say it in a different way, it's like I just have to make it a little bit more adhere to my own. But I didn't think us discovery and sales call revisions and stuff would be that hard, but I think it's just matching it to my personality is the hard part, and that's what's kind of getting me stuck. But for the most part, I'm more confident in this script than my previous one, which I feel like leads me to have better energy on the calls. Because before it's like I didn't really believe in my script, and I kind of like had feelings about it. So I think that kind of like showed through on my calls. Because if I'm not confident in how I'm flowing through discovery or sales, I feel like that comes off. So at least on these scripts, I feel like a lot more like I feel good. Like so, I do like this framework a lot more.
Yeah, what I'll tell you is like it takes a lot of reps. Like yeah, it's gonna take you like 10, 20 discovery calls or you're like feeling pretty good. And based off my experience, whenever we build a niche funnel. So right now,
Yeah.
I don't know how many discovery calls you've had. It sounds like maybe like five-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
In
got
total, well, with this new script, probably around like, yeah, maybe like three or four or so. So,
yeah. So we have
um,
so like you don't even know how good or bad you are until you're like doing like 10. So we got quite a bit ways to
yeah,
go. And I
yeah.
have to, so you have to do multiple, and then I'll review once you get to like 10 discovery calls, 10, 15, then I think you're gonna be in a good place for me to like review a discovery call and kind of take it from there.
Hmm.
So yeah, like whenever you get done with the script or whatever, whenever you want to
Hmm.
send it, I'm not in any rush. So whenever you want to send it, I'll go and have a look.
For
Um,
sure, for sure.
and it'll just be a reps thing, man. We're just gonna put in the reps. There's so much to learn. This is it. Like this is it. This is majority
Yeah,
of like magic happens. The
yeah.
discovery.
And then that new client I got, Dr. Taj, she's still on vacation. She says she wants to launch when she's back on the 20th. So everything's good there. I got the go high level number verified. I got the landing page built. Um, and yeah, pretty much almost there. And then launching with her. I've just been kind of touching base with her once in a while once we like hit a certain milestone, like landing page is done. So I'll contact her. I'll Loom video kind of overview. Trying to be a little bit better in terms of communication with her starting out with a new client. So just been on it and doing the same for my other clients now too, just a little more communication. Yeah. There's one client I just the one in San Clemente, the one I had before we kind of like spoke, I kind of was talking to him in the pipeline. He's like, I've tried everything. I probably ran more ads or done more tweaks to his and haven't gotten results versus like other clients where I've just like tweaked a couple things and then it just rooms, right? And then his is like an engine that won't start. But and it doesn't help that he's also the least communicative and his front desk just doesn't like he kind of stonewalls me. Like I'll try to get the patient list to do a reactivation campaign to kind of keep him happy while I'm trying to figure out the ads on our next test, and I find like he just does not respond. Like he won't even text back, he won't answer calls. He was like this kind of even in the beginning. It's not like he's like this because I'm not giving him results. He's kind of always been like this. I think I've told you um in the past, but and his front desk, like he told me, he's like, oh, they're notoriously they hate digital marketers. They think you guys are all scammers. So I don't know if they're telling him stuff. Like it's just very weird the dynamics there, and he just seems very skittish to ever tell him anything. Like he'll even say like, "Oh, just anything that you need, just contact front desk," and then I'll tell them, "Hey, if you could send that patient reactivation list, I'd love to get you guys some new patients back in the door that are low hanging fruit, that people you've already seen before." Da da da. And I was getting some communication in the beginning, and they would just say, "Oh, I don't know how to get that for you," and then I'm like, "Oh, can you tell me like what CRM you guys use?" And I was trying to help it from a support standpoint, and then eventually it got to a point where they're just like, "Oh, we know how to export it, but we can't export in a CSV file like you're asking. We only know how to do PDF." I'm like, "PDF is fine, and we could like to me, I'm like, we can chat GPT. I'll figure that out. Just send me a PDF, right?" And then boom, like nothing. Then maybe 2 days later, I'm like, do a little follow up. I try not to be pesty or like mosquito. I already know how they feel about digital marketers based off what he told me. So I'm trying my best to, say in a way and have rapport. But
So
yeah,
write
they just won't reply
so write this down. Moving forward, a change that you want to make in your agency is you want to get this stuff on your onboarding call moving forward so that we don't have to deal with this.
for sure.
So
And I did mention it on my call. Like I mentioned like about the list, about that's how he kind of told me in the beginning was like, hey, like, this is what they feel about digital marketers. And I said, okay, well, if they feel that way, they feel that way. Just know, like, moving, like, us working together, I'm really need that because of XYZ, right? So I did tell them, but, could I have been a little more
when
stern?
did
Could I have been more dire? Like, hey, this is, if you can't give me this, we can't do this. Like, I
when did
probably could have done more like that for sure.
when did you tell him that? When was this conversation? Like literally what you're saying right now. Was it your sales call? Was your onboarding call? What?
Um, it was on the day of our shoot, so when I shot video for him. I did like mention something on onboarding a little bit about that, but like, so I did mention that, but then I like went more into it, like when we were filming, like we had chances to talk, right? So,
So
uh,
sure, just and I've noticed a lot of this with you, Rivera, is like it just seems like a constant thing of just chasing people down. Moving forward, this is very important. You write this down or remember this or whatever. What I'd like you to do moving forward on your sales calls is there's a part in your sales call before you mention the price or after you mention the price, you say, hey, look, here's what we're going to do. After you give me hell yeah, hell no, we're going to make the transaction. Da, da, da. Afterwards, we do is we have an onboarding call. On the onboarding call, here's what we're going to go over. Do you think, can you get access to all this stuff? He says, yeah, okay, got it. Transact whatever. And then I want you to drill him again after the transaction occurs. I want you to drill him again on, hey, look, this is what we need access to. Can you please make this a priority? Yeah. Okay. Got it. So you've done it twice. Do it a third time. Literally before the actual onboarding. Hey, Dr. Jane, looking forward to have a conversation with you just as a checklist. Here are all the things that we're going to need. Boom. So you've done it a third time. Then on your actual onboarding, you go through that stuff. This is the kind of stuff you need to be doing, Daniel.
yeah.
You need to be
So
putting
like
these kind
something like before like showing the price and then do one after the call, like a recap email or something.
No, literally on the call. So after the transaction occurs, you literally say, hey, so here's what we're gonna do next. Does that make sense? You can even like play around with like, okay, pop quiz. So what do I need from you? LOL.
Hmm.
And then remember what it was? There were four things, Mr. John Doe. Yep, there you go. That's the first one. Second one is third. All right, last one. Like play around with them. But like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
the kind of shit that matters. Then they're gonna answer like, okay, great. So that you've done it before the price drop, you've done it after they've transacted in your text, going back and forth with them to prepare for the onboarding call. You go over that and then on your onboarding. And here's the thing, what we're doing right now, you're going to be doing this multiple times. So you're going to come to find, okay, I need this list. I need this. I need this. And again, this is why it takes 30 clients. And then before you know it, you're going to have a very tight patch ship where you're not going to be running into these kinds of issues. So I would say like all that stuff that you're saying in terms of like, hey, they think about this about digital markers, this, that, like put that out of your mind. It doesn't matter. It's pointless. Don't think about it. Doesn't matter. This is what you focus on what you can control, which is this kind of stuff. Focus on building your operations where yeah, just focus on building your
Yeah.
operations. It. What else you got?
I think that's pretty much it. You think I should put any energy into like tweaking some ads or stuff, or just keep running it?
For him or for you?
For I guess I was gonna go on a different subject, but in terms of him, I guess I've never been in this situation where I can't get someone results. It's new to me. So I have like zero experience in the sense that where do I go? Like I've tried everything. I keep trying. Also, it's a very bad communication sense where he doesn't really give me much. And sometimes, I mean, most of it's on us to, do the work and get the results. But
If
there's a
res-
small percentage where, you need a little bit of communication from them just to kind of, even stamp of approval stuff like, hey, I just built these ads. What do you think? He won't even reply to those. So,
doesn't matter.
um,
Like all that stuff. So moving forward, whenever people don't like reply and stuff, what I want what I want to do with you moving forward is I really want us to like just focus on like Kushik, this happened. Okay, what could I do different? That's what I like to hear from you. Kushik, this happened. Okay, why I think it happened. Here's what I could do different. I'd like to use that languaging with you because
mhm,
I think you need that. Just like
mhm,
based off of where I've seen
mhm,
like um because I think just like hearing like that doesn't get us anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
mhm.
it doesn't really get us anywhere. So we just need to change your inputs so that we
Yeah,
have um
sure.
in terms of like results, if you can't get results and you know in your core and your heart that you've done everything, it's just the market. It is what it is, and the client's going to die off and it's going to churn. It is what it is. There's not
Mhm,
much. The only
mhm.
thing that can be done is if you have other things like TikTok or you go into Google Ads or something like that's it. So if you want to invest the time and energy to figure some of those things out, you can. But that's on you. That's for you to figure out if you want to do that.
Uh, yeah, I mean, he's not really the client I'd see myself even wanting to work with. So
If
it's like
that's the
one of those
case,
issues as well.
yeah, if that's the case, then don't get emotionally tied to it. It's just another one. What is it? Another one bites the dust. That's what it is. What it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. So
I
sooner or
want to
later,
go slower because I always think of them in the back of my mind, which obviously I need to be better at. You've seen me. I have a tendency to ramble, overthink, think about others too much, their perspective, and I just take it all on to myself, and it slows my operational abilities. Try to get better at it. You definitely like course correcting and checking in on that is like fucking need that because not many people do. Like they either let me ramble or let me do what I do, but um yeah, no, I mean it's just tough. Yeah, it's just tough.
yeah, so let's get into the meat of something because I have noticed. Where do you think the rambling comes from?
Um, Probably like I mentioned, like my mom earlier, like we mentioned on when I first onboarded with you. Um, she has a tendency to do that, and obviously I see myself in her, and you would think that would make me so very aware of it, and I am aware of it. Um, it just sucks when you're aware of it and you still almost can't help it. It's almost like instinctual. But I don't know. I think if I to be real, she people pleases to the ability that she literally cannot tell a lie for the life of her.
Hmm.
Like in the sense that, like, okay, I'll give you a real pertinent, real example. She had a dog. We babysat a dog the neighbor's dog for 2 days, whatever. The dog ate a fucking 2 fries. She freaks out. Oh my God, oh my God. She's stressing out my dad. She's, oh my God, like the dog has diabetes, like whatever. And we've had a dog with diabetes before. I'm like, listen, a fry's not gonna kill it. And then the dog takes a shit, and it doesn't look that bad. And it's like they're not gonna know. Like, if you want to be truthful, just tell them it ate one fry. Like, so it gets you feel good on your chest. But she's just so about it, and she has to tell him, and she has to tell him, and she has to tell him the whole truth that he jumped on the table, ate the whole bag of fries, and da 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 da, because they're gonna know it's me or whatever. They're gonna know it. But she's like that with everything. Maybe that's an extreme example because the dog does have diabetes and things like that. But I would say, I don't know. It's when you ask the question like why, it's like I really have trouble thinking of any other reason because it's like in her sense like she wouldn't want me to hang out with my cousins because she didn't want my cousins to get scolded from their mom, and then she would have to hear about it, saying they're gonna think you're hanging out with the cousins and they're hanging out late at night, and then they're gonna get in trouble and they're gonna think you were the one that put them up to it. So she's always thinking about everyone's perspective and how it can come back to her. So I'm definitely not that, you know, I'm not in that exact way in that toxic sense, but I feel like I can get like that when it comes to certain situations like business, right? So business, clients, even friendships, I can literally think too much into like what they could be thinking of me right now.
So here, so let's pause things real quick. So there's definitely a rambling thing going on. I've noticed it with you, and it's good, but it's gonna hurt you in the sense of business. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And I
I
still haven't got checked for ADHD, even though I know you told me to. Maybe
yeah,
I should fucking finally do that.
I think you really need to go, you know, ADHD, talk to somebody about why you ramble and like get tested because it can only help you by like
Yeah.
understanding what it is. Like I'm not perfect. I got a lot of deficiencies, but like I work around them.
Mm, mm,
Right. And so like in sales, um, I used to think I had social anxiety disorder. And I had a conversation with my mentors. He said, no, because you don't have social anxiety disorder. Social anxiety disorder is a very selfish disease where the reason you get social anxiety is because you are thinking about yourself. You're thinking about, well, what do they think about me? To to squash it, all you have to do is think about the other person. If you think about the other person, well, then you can't get anxiety because you're too focused on them. And I tried it and it worked. And so what I'm simply saying is that instead of you thinking about yourself and what they're thinking about you, you there's so many times I sit down with somebody, I'm having a conversation with them, and I ask a question, they give a response, and then I feel like they're wrong, and I want to say certain things or
mm,
challenge them. But I'm like, if I do that, it's gonna get them to close up. I don't want them to close up. I need them to talk. I need them to open up.
hmm
So moving forward, it's like say the things you need to say to get them to open up. It's a game. Get them to open up. Do the objective. Don't think about yourself. Don't think about what they think about you. Don't think about any, just focus on the game. Get them to open up, get them to do the things. So part of it is like just understanding what is it that you even need to get them to do. Step one. Step two is just do and say the things to get them to do that thing. And that's it. Don't think about yourself. Like all your thoughts, opinions, keep them to yourself because it will bite you in the butt.
Yeah. And I will say I'm not always like this. I think I'm more rambly when I'm like kind of brain dump because it's like this situation, like it's like, oh, tell me how everything is. It's like very broad. In my mind, it's like since I have like issues with that, it's like more of just like kind of letting it all go kind of thing. And I definitely for sure probably be more concise and just understand what needs to be said versus that not everything needs to be said. But I think I have a tendency to say anything I think out loud too. Um, but yeah, I totally get when you say that. Like,
I think
just
part of it can also, and I'm cognizant of this, is that like, we're on a coaching call and it's like, hey, I want Kushik to know and I want the group to know like what's going on.
yeah, I guess that's how I kind of lead with my heart. But then I just take it to a little up a notch. But
I don't care or mind when it's with us or me. My
mhm,
what you're doing on your coaching, I'm sorry, what you're doing on your discovery and sales. So that's what I'm
yeah,
wondering.
I'm a lot more slow on my calls. But
Okay.
I just mention it because I do notice the tendency, and it was I guess it was more of a more prevalent issue in my early calls. obviously I'm still like a noob, but on the early calls when you're really a noob, you're like an infant. I for sure had that tendency to kind of ramble. Um, luckily, I've kind of worked on that a little bit on the calls. But yeah, I think these situations kind of put me back into the brain dump mode. So yeah, I'll try to be a little bit better with giving you the more pertinent information. I don't want to cut anything out, but I also understand like, you know, not everything has the main key takeaways, right? So
Yeah. Um, I um overall, like I mean, you're very articulate, like you're good at articulating with your words and this and like the tone on your voice and all this. So you got a lot of good things working for you. Again, I'm just concerned if you're rambling a little bit too much, but um let's get like again, let's get your script. After that,
mhm,
I'll pick it up and then from there, I'll study, a discovery call, sales call a little bit down the road once I feel like you've had a few reps underneath you, and then from there we'll tweak it, kind of figure out from there.
for sure, for sure.
Um But yeah, other than that, man, everything like in terms of your ads, everything looks pretty healthy. There's nothing that's jumping out at me. You just gotta put in more reps. That's it. Um, yeah. Anything else that you had that you wanted to go over here?
No, that would be pretty much it. I do have to scram right now, guys, but yeah, thanks for everything.
See you next week.
See you guys.
Mr. MJ, is it you? Uh,
See how much I can dump and get as much feedback as I can. Because after I sent whatever I sent, I just started writing a whole bunch of questions. Now I'm in a whole bunch of indecisions all of a sudden, and it's just about maybe I don't know, 15 minutes to go before I get on this launch call. Okay, so here's a bit of the recap so far as of last week. We had a delay with the launch call because they weren't ready at the time that I was ready to be able to get on with them, which was supposed to be this Saturday that just passed. And so we, walked around it being today. So as of today, when we have this call, the 1 week from today, I'm guessing I'll count from Tuesdays when I'd probably launch. So 1, 2, 3, that would take us to Monday next week. So that'll be 22nd is when I should be looking to schedule the next steps with them, hopefully hoping to help them make a decision at that point. So that's that part. So now I have a whole bunch of questions I wrote down in addition to some that will also piggyback off what you sent me as to what a launch call should be. So I'll see how much I can get through with that. The first question I had in no particular order is once I get to launch on Tuesday, should I be creating two ad sets for my client, or I'm just creating the one based on their $20 to $25 ad spend and making sure that that works well? Or should I be pushing them that I'll be putting two ad sets up or whatever? I don't know what you'd say to that. That's the first one, and then I'll move on to the next one.
when you say two ad sets, are you talking about like two different offers or what do you mean?
Yeah, so I figured that the two ad sets, maybe because one is going to be a photo ad and the second one was going to be like a video ad for, say, a Botox campaign, or the laser hair removal thing, depending on what I end up deciding.
Are you doing one offer, two offers? What are you doing?
I'm doing one offer, but two different creatives
Okay, so you're
is what
doing
I'm thinking, is what I'm mulling around, like what I do.
okay. So the offer is for what? Laser, what is it for? Botox?
I mean, I have both campaigns ready to go, like we spoke about on Slack. So either of the two, depending on which they go for,
Gotcha.
right?
So what I would do is I would just have one ad set with ads within it.
I'm sorry, I guess I'm missing mixing all the words. Yes, one ad set with two ads in it, right? Yeah, okay, that's what I was hitting at. So wouldn't that mean that they would spend more? So if I had two ads with the two creatives for the one offer that we're talking about, that means that, I'm trying to get them to spend maybe $20 between the two ads. And so that's like 40 bucks in total, something like that, right? So I'm essentially getting them to spend a little bit more than
So basically and correct me if I'm mistaken, but like this is an ad set, this is an ad set, and you could have one ad within it, one ad within it, or you could have one ad set and then you could have two ads within it.
So
Is that
one ad set with
one
two
ad?
ads. Hold on. Yeah, one ad set with two ads within it,
Yeah.
right?
So you're asking one ad set with two ads within it, or one
Hmm.
ad per ad set. Is that are you asking me which one of those two you should do?
Yeah, hold on. Let me actually check my own ad account. I just want I think is I want to do it the way that I currently have it set up actually. Okay. So what I have is I have two ad sets. Okay, with hold on, sorry, 1 second. My bad. Okay, so I have two ad sets, and in those two ad sets, I have uh an ad in each ad set is what I have. So what will be the difference? Let me share my screen real quick. Just so I'm not confusing myself here. Okay, so
So one is for feeds and one is for story, I'm guessing.
yes, one is for feed, one is for story, and
So
then the same ads.
so there's a reason why we do this, but don't worry. So the reason I do this, actually, I'll go and explain, is because what I came to find is that for some people, feeds work really well, and for some people, stories work really well. Back when I was running it a lot, and so for some people, it's like if feeds are working well, okay, great, let's just shut off stories. Or if they're both working about the same, let's just leave them both on. That's why I have this strategy. For you guys, what I would recommend is just have one ad set and then have all of your creatives within it. And what's going to happen is Facebook is going to allocate the most money to the
Mm.
best creative. That's typically what Facebook does.
Got it. So I can have this one ad set, and the placement in the ad set is stories and feeds, and then the ads are just going to be dispersed to all those placements. Doesn't matter, just get okay.
So if you
Okay.
have, say, theoretically, you have one photo, one video, and one carousel, and let's say that Facebook thinks that the photo is going to outperform all of them, that's the best one, it's going to get the most leads, then Facebook, you'll see naturally will spend more of the money towards a photo. Usually this happens, not always, but usually this happens.
Okay.
And in your case, like I'd probably just like leave it there, and I probably wouldn't even mess around with it. I'd probably just I mean, actually, I don't say that. You keep us up to date, like update us day one, two, three, four, but most likely you won't even need to mess around with it. Also, you just like keep the creatives there, and then Facebook will just like do its thing.
Okay. Okay. All right. I haven't actually gone ahead to create the campaigns for them because there's a decision to be made. I didn't want to like create the laser hair removal and then the other one. So when we decide today, by tomorrow, I will just create the campaign that we go with and then just launch that. But I have the creatives and the copy and everything written out for both that I'm gonna show them, and I can show you what they are. But actually, before I do that, let me go to the probably the most pressing question that I think I have. Okay, which is the piece on, I don't know how I'm gonna articulate this, but we talked, you advised me, and I'm with you on having them run the Botox campaign. So in just digging into their stuff, I realized that they've kind of done a few things. They've done a few things. I've been into their ad account and their campaigns, and they've done a good job, I would say, right? Like they've used the same techniques with, having an offer for the Botox. They didn't have bonuses and whatever that they stacked onto it. It was just an offer for a certain price for 20 units of Botox and all. And they have some creatives. They generate a good amount of leads. I think but based on what I saw with which I could get into on their Facebook leads form, I think maybe 200 leads. I don't know what the time span was within that. I also believe that the data, the CSV that they gave me for their current database was from campaigns that they've run. And so this was data that I have put back into Go High Level. So the conflict that I'm having is what I have in terms of the Botox offer is not too different from what they've done. And I would imagine that I think in my head it makes more sense when I'm using language to be able to convince them on this one, convincing someone that hasn't done this before, right? Hasn't done this before, they are noobs, so I could, say that. So now when I am trying to use the same language and basically sell them on something that they've done before, it's almost as if to them, which I almost feel like I've had a bit of friction with them on this before. It's like, how is that unique? How is that different from what I've done before? Right. And so for me to keep the secret sauce going is I want to always feel like I'm unique to them or there's a different secret sauce that I've done, right? So what was my question there? But yeah, so basically, how do I kind of work this scenario? You know what I mean?
Um, so this is so can I share my screen with you?
Yes, okay, I'll stop sharing.
So this is really important. I don't know if I shared this call with you, but like there's a great video, and this guy, he basically is, ad funnel, um, discovery call, sales call. And so what he would do is, again, if we look at the pipeline of business, right, that's what it is, right? Every funnel is a little bit different, but fundamentally is what it is. And so if you had a conversation with somebody and they said, "Oh, we're growing our business, but like we don't have any way to consistent traffic or word of mouth." Okay, this is the bottleneck. The bottleneck is you're not even running ads. If somebody said, "Yeah, we're getting we're getting leads, but like nobody is showing up." Okay, the bottleneck is because you don't have this discovery call. So you have to, that's what it is. So when it comes to these people, that's what you have to really focus on. So my question becomes for you, when they were running ads before, like, well, what's the issue? Were they running ads themselves? Were running ads for with another agency? What happened in the past?
Exactly. And that was actually going to be, I forgot it when I was giving my spiel just now. But that's the thing that I haven't done in terms of my discovery with them. I don't know what the bottleneck was for them, right? And so whether this launch call, even if I'm positioning it and I get a pushback, because I want to know what I do with the pushback. If it's that they're still set on wanting to do their laser hair removal, but basically, if I even go the route of presenting it first rather than just probably finding out, I know you've been doing ads or whatever, like, because if I know the bottleneck, I will know that I can actually position the Botox still as what they should go, because then here's the solution that I'm giving you. But that isn't something that I discovered what their bottleneck is per se, right? So yeah.
So pop quiz, what do you think you need to do on this launch call? What do you think the first thing is that you need to do?
I would say figuring out what that bottleneck is for them.
Exactly. So you need to hop in there and first spend a little bit of time like, "Hey, John, before we hop in, I had to look at your ads. I saw some of the stuff you guys are doing. Um, before we move forward again, because I want to make sure that I don't say something and it kind of flies over your head or, I don't want to make any assumptions. So I'd like to just have a look really quick in terms of what you guys did in the past first, so that I can maybe shed a little bit more light on some things I think could be going wrong. And then you figure it out. You figure out what is the issue, right? My guess, most people that they're not nurturing people and people are not coming in, or it's a unit economics and where they're not selling enough high ticket packages. So what I mean by that is like maybe they spend 5K on ads, maybe they spend 2K on the agency, right? I'm just making some simple math here. And then what'll happen is that maybe what they're going to do is they're going to make 7K themselves, right? So they spend 2K, 5K, and then they make 7K. And then there's the cost of goods. So that automatically takes it down to, let's just say, 6K. And then there's the cost of like uh, uh, the people that are working there. So let's say that brings it down to 5K, right? And so we're at 2K loss. So how do we make this up? The way we make this up by selling some high ticket package. If we were to sell some high ticket package, we could probably take this up to like 15K. So the problem is usually that. The problem is that they spend 2K on an agency, 5K on ads, they basically break even, barely make any money, and then they can't sell the package. This is literally like Amon's case most of the time, is like we're trying to figure out how to sell these back-end high ticket packages. So most likely it's going to be here, or it's going to be here. So most likely, obviously they click on the ads, obviously they get people into the opt-in. What's most likely to happen is not enough people are showing up, which means that their nurture sucks. And so this is where your AI magic sauce comes in. Like, hey, we have AI and this magical thing that's going to nurture people, and you don't even have to worry about stuff and da da da. And they'll be like, oh my God, that's so cool. That's going to differentiate you. Or you're going to come to find it's a unit economics problem, where again they just weren't selling enough high ticket package on the back end. So what you need to do is drill them like, hey, so we're going to get the AI to come in, and then our job, our focus, what's important that you understand that other agents didn't tell you is that your profit margins are not crazy on the front end. They're not supposed to be crazy. The magic sauce, what makes this all work, is the back end. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work with you on the back end to sell these high end packages, and that's what's gonna make the numbers work.
Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, I went into everything that they were, well, at least as much as I could go into. I saw the offer that they had. I saw the messages that they were also trying to nurture people with, even though some of the tweaks based on their messaging when they told some of the leads, when they message on Instagram, I'm interested and whatever, they would tell them to give them a call, right? Like, oh, like give us a call at whatever. Those ones for sure, like
Terrible.
you
Yeah,
should
that's
be,
terrible.
they should be attacking them or trying to get them into actually get a call with them by yourself. So that's one place I was like, okay, this could tweak. But the second part was I know that at the end of the lead form ad, they were nurturing because, well, I mean, I assume that they were nurturing because the last carousel said, expect a call from so and so number or what have you, right? So I figured that, of course, like when someone had completed it all the way through, that they were ringing them to be able to get them in for the kind. I just don't know how much they made. I think I have the Excel sheets of they track their data too on Excel sheets, these people that booked, these people that actually came in and all. I just didn't I think I have it in front of me too as well. But yeah, again, so that's exactly what I feel like I want to figure out, so that I know just how to have this conversation, essentially, right? Yeah, okay. This is what I have in terms of the other piece, which I guess maybe they all lead together, would be the SMS campaign piece. So I was thinking if it's that I launched the SMS blast or the email blast to hopefully have them get quick results. There were two paths that came to my head. And one was, of course, if I'm doing, let's take the Botox, for example, which is well, I know in the US, I don't know if it's the same thing that's run in Canada, a $97, thing plus this, plus this, plus that. I just converted it over to Canadian dollars, I guess, to be a 129 thing. What they ran was a 159 thing. Um, so I mean, if they want to still do the 159, we could do that. I know there's some people in their messaging form that were like 159. I get that. Isn't that the same price other places? So I know there was a bit of friction that I saw in those messages that it didn't seem that was enough of a discount to get people over the edge to come in through. So I could have discussions with them to bring it down a little lower, maybe a 139 versus a 159. We'll figure that out. But ultimately, the SMS campaign is if I send an SMS campaign, would it still be on the low ticket offer, which is exactly related to 139 or what have you, included with the bonuses? And so that's what I'm educating the leads on. Or do I just go high ticket already on the SMS campaign where I probably figure out what packages they have to sell? We figure out what discounts that we can make on them. I have that guy that's on YouTube that Aman also watches because I have that whole script and those templates. He had multiple um scripts or templates that he had for different tiers, mid-tier, higher tier, and what have you, so that I am helping them collect that cash up front. I mean, my nervousness is maybe nobody buys because I've never done it before. So I obviously have the fear of like, yeah, no one's gonna buy, but how do I know that? I don't know. Or do I do both? Do I split the Excel database where I have a few people that I'm sending out an email blast with the low ticket stuff, and then a few people that I'm doing, the high ticket package with. But again, that means that this call, I'm also getting to know from them what packages that they have, and we can do the SMS blast campaign with. So I'm just trying to figure out how or what's the best approach for me to do that.
What was the gist of what you heard from Grayson? I know Aman literally just blasted something out like literally a few days ago, and he said he has some people come in. I wish he was here right now so you could have asked him that. But what does Grayson like fundamentally say, or like what was the kind of golden nuggets or the footnotes, and then based off that, maybe I could decipher and kind of give you a suggestion. I don't have like, if you're gonna give me, I don't have a clear yes or no for you. If you give me more information, perhaps I can decipher that and tell you a suggestion.
I haven't consumed all his videos, maybe just 2 or 3. The general gist of what I know he says is obviously giving the package a name, stacking on the bonuses on there. Yeah, so giving a name, stacking on the bonuses and value on there. In terms of the SMS stuff, I only watched one video where he was selling, and it's high ticket. It was high ticket reactivation campaigns that he put out for his dad's spa. And so the template that I have on my Google Drive has multiple tiers. There's a template that he had done for mid and one that he had done for high ticket. I don't think I've seen a low ticket one actually. So basically my question is, do I run the same thing I'm trying to do on the Facebook ad side with the SMS reactivation campaigns?
No, no, no. If that's what your question was, like, no, for sure, no. The purpose of the ad is just to get people in at break even, slightly profitable. And then you were trying to upsell them. And so what I would do is I would definitely do a package, and you can do something where you can kind of go into, hey, it's April shower, July something, and make it a high ticket package kind of deal. And then in theory, the idea is that some of the people that are going to respond to that have already experienced a treatment with them. And so therefore, when they see this, they're going to be more sold because they don't need to be bought into another $97 thing. They're like, oh my God.
Exactly, which is what I was thinking about. Because I mean, if my thought is right, that the database that I have are some of the people that already came into the Botox, it's the same damn thing. Like there's no interest in that offer there. So I have to create something different for them, right? Okay. And I would have absolutely messed up this this call. Because I don't know, like I'm just having all these back and forths that are like, yeah. But anyways, yeah, okay. Now you see, I hate last minute stuff. If there's anything about my life that I absolutely hate, is just figuring stuff out last minute because I know I'm going to screw it up. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely have to figure out what package that they have and create something for this SMS blast. And then the ads can be, the low ticket thing, and we can figure out there from there. The other question I had was, would I use the same lead form that they used for the previous Botox one, or am I having to create a new lead form if they decide on running Botox again for the Facebook ads?
I would make everything brand new for you,
Brand new?
just so safe and different.
Okay. 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 So what else I got? Okay. So say, on worst comes to worst, I present both, like, the we figure out what the bottleneck is, and I'm still trying to get them to. I recommend that the Botox is probably what they run still at the end of the day, and they still want to do laser hair removal. I guess what do I do then? Like I just, okay, cool, and I run that, or where do I go from there with that?
Wait, so are you saying that they want to do both, or they want to do laser over Botox?
I know I'll be pitching it for them to do one, not both. So say they prefer to do the laser over the Botox as the one that they choose, so they pick. I'm guessing I just run with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
run with. You shouldn't need to, right? If you're good with your words, well, then you're going to scare them away from doing laser, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so again, if we look at the Botox thing, first step one is identify where the problem is. With that, you should have a tremendous amount of ammunition, MJ. Step two is now you can differentiate yourself. Some things you're saying off the bat is like, hey, the way you're positioning the Botox offers, you're saying this plus this, 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 this. That in itself is like a differentiator right away that I'm hearing.
Yes.
AI
Yes.
bot differentiator.
I don't have that one. I don't even know if I want to. I don't even know if I want to use that. But because this is actually a thing I'm wondering. I know this is next steps. I don't want to think about it, but I probably should be. Since I'm following up with the leads, because I'm also reading what you said in your text to me as to the things that I need to do that come off the top of your head on the launch call. So show them the funnel A to Z. Yeah, I'll pretty much kind of like just show them the creatives or the targeting might look like. And then when you mentioned the nurturing aspect. Because I know that I'm the one that's going to be hopping on these calls with their leads, making sure that I get this all dialed in for them. This part is tricky because if leads start pouring in, I don't think I encounter them in the first 5 minutes. For real. So, um, yeah, I don't know how I deal with that yet. Of course, I probably, deal with it when I get to that bridge, but it is something that I'm thinking about actively.
Okay. So that means that you're going to need to figure out this AI stuff from Aman.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going for who you are and where you're at, you need to figure out the AI thing and you need to um either what Aman is doing is he's getting the business owners to contact their own leads, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to pivot towards like hiring um people on the Philippines. So most likely that's going to be your case as well. Um
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay.
So with the AI thing, again, what I'm trying to do is just help you sell it is, and again, they don't necessarily need to know that there is an AI or not involved. I don't know if there's a way from what you've learned with someone where you can position and say, hey, the AI is going to have this kind of conversation. If you cannot do it, then don't worry about it. But if you can do it, you should do it. And there's no way that they're going to know whether AI is nurturing them or not. It's just going to put their mind at ease. Another thing you can also do is like, hey, look, what we typically do is we actually use AI to nurture and do all these things. And if you guys decide you want to move forward, then we'll go and install the AI bot after these 7 days. So now you're kind of dangling a carrot in front of them. That's another kind of strategy that you can use. Um, or if you just want to leave this out, you can leave it out completely. I'm just trying to help you kind of sell it.
Yeah.
These are some tools that you have. Think on the bottoms of your feet, how the conversation goes. You can use these.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Um, okay. So yeah, in terms of the data to track, I'll be the one tracking it for them if since I'm the one starting it out, um, to hop on the leads, sorry, the calls and all of that kind of stuff. I know for this call, I think ultimately what I really want from them is I think three things. I kind of just wrote it out just so that I don't forget. Um, okay. So ultimately what I want from them is, of course, I want to kind of like show them the access to go high level, to download the app as well. I want to show them the creatives that we've made for the campaigns and all, and what the offer and the copy and everything looks like. And I want to know how I book the leads into their calendar, right? So whatever it is that they're using right now, like how do we make sure that they know that this person has booked and they're coming in. And then of course like packages to upsell as well and what they have to figure that out. And also how they collect deposit for the lead. So if I'm hopping on a discovery call and someone's ready to go to the next step, right? I think they mentioned that they had Stripe or something, so I need to get that. So if I have that link and get created, so I can make sure that I can push that over to the client. Um, yeah, ultimately that's all I feel like I want to get on this call for the most part, and then kind of like just go from there as it relates to Tuesday, and rock and roll from that point. Yeah. Um.
I feel like I was a little bit short with you when you said, "Hey, I cannot do this because of your schedule." I just wanted to maybe say some reassuring words, which is, you have to at some point have conversation with the lead just for you to learn, but it's not forever, right? It's not forever. And so I feel like the way I said is almost sound like doom and gloom. Like you got to figure out, you got to hire somebody for the film, you got to figure out AI stuff. You're gonna have to figure stuff out sooner or later. But I think it's healthy that you're forced into an opportunity where you have to talk to leads. And while you may not get to every single lead, this is a good opportunity for you to just kind of get your feet wet a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, it's not forever. It's just this. It's just right now. And then with your very next client, what we can do is you can do the same thing as Aman, which is like just pushing your client to follow with their own leads and understand like they're not going to be as successful as if you knew exactly what to say and you had your team following up with them. It's just not going to be, and it's okay. You're making a compromise until you get to a place in your life where you can make that happen. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, just
Yeah.
share some reassuring words there.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah. I think so far, I think that's. I'm sure I always miss something, but I think that's everything for me right now. I don't know if there's anything else from your end. I know that you probably even gotten to listen to a few of my discovery calls so far and how trash they are. So if they if there's anything that you also want to, put in, I think, yeah, within like the next maybe 10, 15 minutes or so. And then I'll go calm myself and figure out how I'm gonna have this call.
Well, I was clicking around just to kind of check. No, I need to, yeah, I don't have, I just want to kind of like see your progress. That's all it was. When I
Yeah,
was
okay.
trying. But in terms of like doing a proper sit down, um, I would like you to tell me which one to review. I always tell the guys like, hey, you tell me which discovery call and which sales call to review, and then I'll review
Right.
that one. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you're in a place where I should review one of those, or
Yeah, I don't think I have anyone yet that I feel like that with.
yeah, I was looking, I saw that some of your discovery calls were like 50 minutes long.
50?
I at least one of them was, I think.
That must have been one of 50. Okay, that's no, I think the most I've had is it has to be just one of them, if anything, but there's no way I think it was probably the sales call that would have been that. Hold on, let me check.
I
50
was
is 50 is
astonished.
crazy.
Whoa.
50 is actually crazy. I don't think I've had one that's 50 unless I'm tripping.
Yeah, I think as I was
Oh,
looking,
okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it had to be happy one of those. I think who was this? Rose. I even forget what happened. Yeah, there was one in there. There was one in there that was 50. Actually, two outliers. One that was 45, one that was 50. The rest kind of like maybe 20, 13, 15 and all. Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is true.
so I don't know. I was just looking at them. I was looking at the conversion rate of number of discovery calls to sales calls. I mean, how do you feel about stuff? We don't have to spend too long because I know you got to prepare for your call.
Yeah.
Um, do you
I
feel
feel there's a few things I have to still figure out. Um, I've tried implementing a few tweaks because I know one of the first things that started happening was, people just wanting to know. Of course, these people have, I guess, higher buyer sophistication, right? They just want to get straight to the price and say, oh, hey, what do you do? How much does it cost? They want to kind of get there. So I implemented just a line there that's kind of I pulled that off something that my guy sent me on Instagram. Well, this is just it's a why call. We want to know why you opted in, and all that, and then we'll kind of have the hard call and talk about what investments look like and everything, and sound good. So I implemented that, but I don't also know if that's the bottleneck too for that other piece where I mentioned that I end up having asked about a free trial, but again, I haven't gone back to really like scrut. It's only two that's happened. It's not been multiple. It's only two that happened that way. Um, but the other things that I've been thinking about working on too is that high level overview as well, just learning how to say it better. That positions me as unique, even though I know I've not done anything yet, but I do want to figure out that languaging a bit better at this stage. I haven't really dialed that in yet. Um, but yeah, I feel like I just need a few more reps in and the overall, I mean I've had is it 10 now at this point? And I don't know, they've not been super great, which is, like yeah, sometimes I kind of like I've not actually been able to push one sales call to somebody being able to work with me, which is okay. I mean, I'm sure I have a few more to go, but yeah, I haven't been so great, I would say. So I still have a lot of finessing to do.
so you're saying you've had, I don't remember the exact number of, uh, so you've had 19 book calls. You've had 8 discovery calls,
Hmm.
and 4 of them have said yes to a sales call.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too shabby. And then out of these 4, um,
Good one.
what happened to the other 3? Have they not did they just not show up? Did they reschedule?
No call, no shows. I think maybe one or two. The other two where I will get back to you when I'm ready, type of thing.
And
I
they
had I had that happen for two. Um, Yeah, because I was calling to confirm the sales the demo call. And yeah, that's I don't remember who the two were, but yeah, I remember something like that for those two.
Yeah, I think you know, I think it could be beneficial to review a discovery call
Yeah.
for you. Yeah. Um, is there so it's up to you. I don't mind. If you feel like, one of these you want me to go over your discovery call, or if you want to do a few more maybe this week and then get back to me, I think that it could be healthy for you to go over discovery call.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do a few more. I think I have one more that may or may not happen today. Like after this launch call, I have to hop on another. So yeah, I'll do a few more. Maybe like the remainder that I have this week, and then yeah, I'll probably just shoot you a message on which one. Yeah.
That's okay. Anything else that you want to go over, MJ?
Yeah, so far so good. So far so good.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I can see the imaginary steam coming out of your head. So
Because I have to work on my script, man. Like how I'm gonna how I'm gonna be able to start. Yeah, so yeah, I'll figure it out. Um,
you'll be okay.
Oh God.
It's just a call. The world isn't ending.
I know. Keep reminding myself that.
Okay.
Keep reminding myself that. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll get on that. We'll get on that. Thanks. Thanks.
Awesome. Have fun. Go record. Make sure you record it. Let me know how it goes.
Okay. I will. I will.
Anything else that you want to go over, MJ?
Yeah, that's everything. Just realized that I don't have my camera set up yet. Have to go do that. Okay. Alrighty.
Okay, MJ, you let us know if you need anything else, okay?
I will. I will. Okay. All right.
Hey, Jorge, what's going on, brosif?
Hello, hello, what's up?
Come on, man. How you doing?
Good, good. I'm on the way to training right now. That's why I'm in the car right now.
Okay, cool. I figured.
So yeah, just figured I'd hop in real quick, see if I had time to go, and then yeah, I had a little bit of time right now. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, what's up?
I uh I updated all the sheets, all my KPIs and everything,
Yeah.
and so far still the lead forms, they're all unqualified pretty much. I still get people thinking that it's a free jujitsu class, and the middle funnel is getting leads too, but same thing. They're just like, oh, I want to come try a class. But for the new duplicate ad set for the main funnel, I've been getting pretty good leads with those. I haven't hopped on a discovery call yet. I've been texting them like back and forth, and this guy's been like kind of dodgy. But the new duplicate ad set is looking pretty promising. It's at like $24 a call right now.
Nice. And is it
Yeah.
what creatives are in there? Is it just the talking head video, or did you put the other stuff in there?
It's just the talking head video right now.
Okay. So when it comes to lead form ads, so we can pretty much go and shut those down then in this case. What did you find? Did you get like a winner though?
Yeah, it's the one that we predicted. It's Adams.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay. So let's just do this then. Let's go ahead and let's go and just basically do what we said, which is like throw those into the main and slowly ramp up ad spend and take things from there then. And then we just like not mess around with lead form ads anymore.
Gotcha. You want me to duplicate it into a new ad set and then keep the first one that's getting results running alongside?
Yeah, I kind of don't even want to mess with that one, man. Like I'm afraid to even mess with that one.
Yeah, it's been
Um,
popping, but I think two of the four that I've gotten are like very similar. I haven't talked to them, but I'm guessing they're like a husband-wife team because they both have the same last name. They both to call within like the same day.
okay.
But
Let's do this. Let's just let's shut off the lead form ads then. And then let's go ahead and just put the creatives, the winning ones inside of that, the one that's already popping.
Mhm.
Let's just like let it sit for like 3, 4 days and let's see what happens. And if it doesn't go crazy, then we'll slowly increase ad spend.
Okay, gotcha. So kill even the middle funnel ones, kill those.
No, middle of funnel, if middle of funnel is working well, just keep it that way.
Those have been
But what
getting,
do you,
I've been getting leads, but still they haven't been as they haven't been qualified. A lot of them is like no, no, no for the answer. Like, do you own a martial arts school? The answer is no.
okay. Is what creatives do you have in the middle of funnel? Is it the talking head or
Yeah, for the middle funnel, I have one of I have all three different podcast interviews.
uh-huh.
So one of Adams, one with Barry, and then one with Top Level, and then I have my talking head thing for a total.
What are the custom audiences that you have within the middle funnel?
The middle funnel we left it broad.
Middle funnel, you should have custom audiences there, like 95% video viewers, 30%.
Oh, my bad. That's what I meant. We have the 90% of video viewers. I don't have access to my laptop right now, obviously, but it was that one, and then it was like Facebook engagers, Instagram page engagers, and there was one more. So,
Okay. So if you're having unqualified people, that just means that your top of funnel was bringing in unqualified people. It's not, there's nothing wrong with the middle of funnel. It's an issue with the top of funnel. I don't know if that makes any sense. Because all you're doing is you're retargeting, right? So the issue is not the middle of funnel. The issue is
yeah, it's
what,
just picking up.
yeah, it means the top of
Okay,
funnel.
that makes sense.
Yeah, the top of funnel, the previous creators, previous targeting, previous stuff has brought in like bad traffic. That's what that means. So we just need to clean slash filter your top of funnel. That's what we need to do. And you're breaking up a little bit, bro.
Sorry, say that again. You said have a whole new interest.
No, no, no. I was just saying we just need to clean up your top of funnel.
Uh-huh.
And so what I mean by that is like hopefully the new creative with Adam and stuff like that, that's going to start bringing in like better people, more qualified people that we're looking for, and then that should ideally fix up your middle of funnel automatically.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And then do I have to touch anything with the middle of funnel?
Nope, you don't got to mess around middle funnel. Middle funnel pretty much is evergreen.
Oh, okay. Cool. So then the next steps is just put that winning ad into the top of funnel, let that ride for a few days, see how it does,
Yeah.
and then
When it came to the other testimonial ads, like did they all perform around equally? Or like so out of all the testimonial ads, like are they all performing around equally or is Adam's like blowing everybody's out of the water?
Adams is pretty much taking majority of the ad spend and getting post leads.
Okay. So like substantially more than the other two testimonial type of ads, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, then yeah, let's just throw in Adams into your top of funnel. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right.
Pretty simple. What else you got going on? Anything else? Anything else new?
I mean, I had a court today. I had to report this fucking speed ticket, and yeah, I'm stressed out. Actually, I had to report. I had a didn't get my motorcycle license, and then they caught me speeding too. So I got to get a whole lawyer and all that stuff. So
Damn.
that's what's up with me now. But it's all good. It's all good.
You're out here getting in
Take
trouble,
care.
man. Out here getting in trouble, man. You gotta take care of yourself. Careful.
I know. It's all stupid too. It's so stupid. And then yeah, other than that, it's my birthday coming up Thursday. That's it, really. All the new shit that's going on.
Nice. What are you doing for your birthday?
Man, I'm old now, bro. I'm turning 28, so I'm chilling. I don't drink. I don't smoke anymore. I don't drink anymore. I just hang with my girl, get some cake with my family. That's it.
That's cool, man. That sounds good to me. Sounds like a good birthday.
yeah, it should be nice. On the ad side of things, it's just that, my clients are steadily getting results. They've decreased ad spend for 2 of them, but one of them steadily getting results. The other one I had to duplicate again because they kind of got stagnant a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm gonna start testing out new ads because I bought this Artlist, like Voice AI. You heard about that?
Mhm.
So Artlist, right?
Yeah, I know Artlist.
Yeah, so they came out with a new AI voice changer scenario thing they got going on. And it's pretty sick, honestly. Like, it actually works pretty well. It feels like somebody's actually doing a voiceover.
Okay.
So I'm gonna test around doing some ads with those, like some video ads for them, and using different voices. So see how that goes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, man, everything sounds, I mean, do you have any specific like questions other than what we talked about in terms of like duplicating ad sets and tofu, mofu and all that stuff? Or do you feel pretty good about stuff?
I feel pretty good about it right now. I mean, it's pretty straightforward just from what you've been telling me. If I have any questions, I'll either make a Loom, like asking them, or I'll just put them in the Slack channel. Just because right now, like I'm on the road, so like my attention's not fully focused. I'm sure if I have something on my laptop, I'll be able to like tell you exactly this and that.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, no, we can't have you get any more tickets, bro. So we
No, I know, man. I'm staying vigilant out here. I'm not even gonna drive anymore. I'm just Uber everywhere.
hell yeah. Stay focused. Well, all right then. I mean, if there's nothing else, man, then I would say just, when you get home or whatever, if you have more questions, you let me know, okay?
Yeah, definitely will do.
Okay. All right, man. Well, have a great birthday. Be safe out there. And I'll see you next week, okay?
All right, sounds good, bro.
Peace, bro. Peace.